itself, but I feel it diminished the stature of China as a country in the global eyes. Because after this clash occurred, and we showed that it is possible to stand up to China, who tries to bully its smallest Indian army and India as a country. We showed India as a country showed to the world that it is possible to take on that neighborhood.
Firstly, we have not lost out in any territory. We are where we were before this whole thing.
And not an inch has been lost.
Not an inch has been.
The Lok Sabha witnessed a heated exchange after the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, sought to quote from what he said was the excerpt from the memoir of former Indian Army Chief Naravane on the 2020 border clashes with China. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Home Minister Amit Shah objected on the grounds that the book 4 Stars of Destiny has not yet been published. Now the clips of former Army Chief Naravane's earlier interviews with news agency ANI have resurfaced, where he had spoken about the Galwan clash and the line of actual control disengagement. He had noted that the clash had not only affected China's military credibility, but also diminished its stature in the global arena, adding that India had demonstrated it was possible to stand up to China, which often tries to intimidate smaller neighbors. Naravane had also emphasized that India had not lost any territory and remained in the same position as before the tensions began. He explained that the disengagement agreement was based on the principle of mutual and equal security, serving the interests of both countries and ensuring a stable LAC with minimal chances of confrontation, and stressed that not an inch of Indian territory had been lost.
Do you think this fight in Galwan, the clash in Galwan, the way our troops gave them a bloody nose, did this demolish the image of 7 feet tall Chinese soldiers in the minds of our troops as well as internationally?
I think not only of the PLA itself, but I feel it diminished the stature of China as a country in the global eyes. Because after this clash occurred, and we showed that it is possible to stand up to China, who tries to bully its smallest neighbors. Once we did that, I think from Canada to Lithuania to Europe to Philippines, everyone actually, got that feeling that yes, if you're fighting for what is correct, if you have a principled stand, it is possible to take a stand even against China. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to always be cowed down by the might that they try to project.
I think the ASEAN was also looking in wonderment at that stage.
Quite right.
As to how we react because of Chinese aggression in the South China Sea, in all that was happening. So I think there was a lot of focus on the Indian Army at that stage.
Indian Army and India as a country. We showed, India as a country showed to the world that it is possible to take on that neighborhood bully. As is the case everywhere, whether it is a school bully or a neighborhood bully, you have to stand up to him sometime or the other. Right. We showed it can be done.
Who can be termed as a victor in this entire
I think firstly we have not lost out in any territory. We are where we were before this whole thing started. But as a result of this agreement, it has been reached on the principle of mutual and equal security. So I think that should be the way we look at this whole disengagement process, that it serves the interests of both countries to have a very stable LAC and with less chances of any confrontation taking place. That should be the larger viewpoint that we take.
And not an inch has been lost.
Not an inch has been lost, that's right.
Sir, what is the situation on the other friction points? Now we've seen disengagement from Pangong so late, but there are other friction points where they were aggressive, like Gogra, Hot Springs and Depsang. What's the situation?
We are approaching this whole issue in a step-by-step manner. So the initial step was of course the disengagement which I've just talked about. So future rounds of talks will continue, and I'm sure that through these talks we will be able to narrow down our differences and arrive at a acceptable solution, once again based on mutual and equal security, and which is acceptable to both sides, and only when it is acceptable to both sides.
After the June 2020 Galwan Valley clash, which resulted in the deaths of 20 Indian soldiers and an unknown number of Chinese troops, India and China remained in a 4-year military standoff. A major breakthrough in October 2024 reportedly led to around 95% disengagement in Depsang and Demchok, along with the resumption of patrolling in key areas. Right at the start of his speech, Rahul Gandhi said he never wanted to speak on the particular issue but decided to do so after BJP's Tejaswi Surya questioned the patriotism of the Congress party. He then held up a printout of a magazine article and read the phrase "Chinese tanks in Doklam" from the reported book excerpt. At this, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh got up to interject and said the book has not been published. Speaker Om Birla agreed with the ministers, noting that according to rules and conventions, newspaper clippings, books or other unauthenticated sources cannot be cited in the House. He then asked Rahul Gandhi to continue with his speech while omitting that part. Rahul Gandhi, however, maintained that the magazine he was referring to contained excerpts from the book that were 100% genuine. Outside the parliament, Lok Sabha leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi maintained that he was merely presenting the perspective of the former army chief as written in a book which he claimed was not being allowed to be published. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra also said the excerpt came from a published source, either a book or magazine, and questioned why is the government scared.
This is not me, this is the army chief. This is what the army chief has written in a book. The book is not being allowed to be published. It is languishing. And this is the army chief's perspective, his view. Why are they so scared of the army chief's perspective? Why are they so scared of what the army chief has to say? We learn something from it. Of course, we learn something about our Prime Minister. We learn something about Rajnath Singh ji, but we'll also learn something about our army and how they were let down by the political leadership of the country. That one second, brother. So that is ये मैं बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि नरवाने जी ने प्रधानमंत्री जी के बारे में, राजनाथ सिंह जी के बारे में अपनी किताब में साफ लिखा है. वो एक आर्टिकल में आया है. मैं आर्टिकल को कोट कर रहा हूँ. मुझे बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. नारावाने जी ने ये किताब लिखी है. वो डरे हुए हैं क्योंकि अगर वो निकला तो नरेंद्र मोदी और राजनाथ सिंह की जो रियलिटी है वो लोगों को पता लग जाएगी कि जब चाइना हमारे सामने खड़ा था, आगे आ रहा था, 56 इंच की छाती को क्या हुआ था उस लाइन में.
ये नहीं, ये गलत बात है. जो रूल है पब्लिश सोर्स, एक पब्लिश सोर्स होना चाहिए, चाहे वो मैगजीन हो चाहे वो किताब हो. ये मैगजीन में पब्लिश्ड है, एक्सेप्ट है किताब का, तो इसमें तो कोई अनऑथेंटिकेटेड सोर्स नहीं है. वो ऑथेंटिकेट कर लेंगे राहुल जी, तो उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? आप कह रहे हैं मौका मिलना चाहिए बोलने का, ताकि उसकी ऑथेंटिकेशन बात हो सकती है. डर किस बात का है? डर किस बात का है?